Alright, now let's try a multi-step equation. So, let's just do by example, -6, alright, -6, n, alright, minus 2n is equal to 16. Alright, now to do this problem, alright, we have to combine the variables and then solve for n. So in this case, what is -6n minus 2n? So what we do is we combine the coefficients of both variables. So -6 minus 2 is equal to -8. More exactly, -8n. We make that equal to 16. Now let's solve for n. To solve for n, we have to multiply either by the reciprocal, or we can divide, so let's divide here, by the number, or by the coefficient. So we have -8n here, so we have to divide by -8, and then we divide the right side by -8 also. So n is equal, these cancel, so n is equal to -2. Okay, let's try, let's see, let's try one that's kind of tricky. Alright, so let's try -10 is equal to -14v plus 14v. Alright, let's solve the problem. Alright, here's kind of a dilemma, okay? What is -14v plus 14v? Well, this is 0, right? Now the question is 0 equal to 10, -10? No, these sides don't equal each other. So the answer to this trick question is that there is actually no solution. Okay? So here's the thing. If you're trying to solve an equation, and let's say that all the variables cancel out, okay? Now if all the variables cancel out, then you have no solution, because you're not really solving for anything. So that's kind of a trick question. Okay, let's try a couple of more problems. Which one am I looking for here? I found it. Okay. So I want to try something a little more involved here, okay? Sorry for the shadow, but it's kind of late in the day. Alright. Let's see. Okay, we're going to have 8 times 4k minus 4 in parentheses. We're going to make that equal to -5k minus 32. Alright. Okay, so now what we need to do first is we need to expand out this parentheses. Alright, so we have to use the distributive property, don't we? So 8 times 4 is 32k. 8 times -4, or 8 times 4 is minus 32, right? And that's equal to -5k minus 32. Alright, so remember the first rule I talked about is we have to bring, alright, all the variables to one side and then all the numbers to the other side, okay? So in this case, we want to bring all of the variables to the left side to make things easier. So on the right side we have a variable here, right? Minus 5k. So we're going to have to add 5k to get rid of it. So whatever we do on the left, right, we do on the left. Alright, so 32, right, plus 5k. So these cancel. Alright, so 32 plus 5k is going to be 37k. Alright, so now we have to bring the numbers to the other side, right? So over here we have negative 32, so we have to add 32, right? So if we add 32 and then we add 32 to the right side also, so 32's cancel. Now here's interesting. If we have negative 32 plus 32, well, that's just 32 minus 32, right? So that equals 0. Alright? Can we still go on? Yes, we can. We can still go on. So let's solve for k. So we have 37k equals 0. Now, if we have a coefficient in front of k, we have to divide that number, right? So we have to divide both sides by 37. So this is an interesting observation. Okay? So look at this fraction right here. Is 0 over 37. You have to ask yourself, is this possible? I'll give you the answer. Yes, it is possible. You can actually have 0 in the numerator, but not in the denominator. So this right here, 37 over 0, this is not possible. Okay? You can never have a 0 in the denominator. You should memorize this by heart because you just can't. Okay? Alright, so technically this fraction is valid. Alright, so 37 over 37, those cancel out. So k is equal to 0 over 37. Now, if you have a fraction and you have 0 as a numerator, well, the answer is just going to be 0. So we just took this long way around just to say that k is equal to 0, but I wanted to explain you clearly about this whole dilemma between if you have a 0 in the numerator versus if you have a 0 in the denominator. You can have a 0 in the numerator, but you cannot have one in the denominator, and this is something very important to understand in the future.